Roguelikes, a great genre of games, popularized by The Binding of Isaac, and a personal favorite of yours truly, with fantastic games like the aforementioned Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon, Dead Cells, The Binding of Isaac again, and Gunfire Reborn. But my newest obsession isn't even a roguelike, but the roguelike adjacent genre of arena auto shooters. The newest, hottest sensation that started with Vampire Survivors.
My brain stopped working, man. My brain didn't work.
Brotato. And if I'm going to sink countless hours, then I might as well make a video out of it. The premise is simple. You're a potato with guns. You move, collect the green things, and shooting is done automatically. Unless you're a psycho. There's a shop and a boss at the end. It's like Vampire Survivors, but with a twist. The enemies shoot back. Speaking of enemies, you have a whole smorgasbord of them to mow down. Few of my favorites, and of course, by favorites, I mean some of humanity's worst mistakes, are the big boy, and of course, the steroid variant. Many rounds lost because of them. Second is the cancer cell himself, the buffer, and his less annoying counterpart, the healer. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what they do. It's paramount to kill them as soon as you see them. And the number one worst enemy and the main reason to get speed is the pursuer. Here is a visual representation of the pursuer chasing you with low speed. The last enemy I want to talk about is the looter. Yes, the looter. Probably the reason I lose most of my runs. When I see the looter, I see nothing else on screen. So for that reason, and that reason only, the looter gets an honorable mention. But ultimately, none of that matters. The only metric that's worth judging the enemies with is, drumroll please, how veiny they are. Here is the top 3 most veiniest enemies. At number 3, the spawner. A little lumpy, but a lot veiny. At number 2, the monk. An elite enemy, so a rare treat that won't appear on every run. Just look at those majestic veins. And at number 1, the slasher. But not its adult form. I'm talking about the slasher egg. Just look at that veiny ball. Gets me all riled up. Now, the game itself consists of 20 waves, ranging from 20 seconds to 60 seconds. On wave 20, there's a boss that you can either survive for the whole duration or kill it. In order to survive, you're going to need stats. And stats come in 2 forms. Level ups, or more importantly, the shop that sells weapons and passive effects. Most of the difficulty is knowing what to buy so you won't get clapped and still kill things at a decent rate. There are many fantastic items like Baby with a Beard, Bandana, and Ricochet that only appear when you're doing a melee run, or Rip and Tear, Mammoth, and Gnome that only appear when you're doing range runs. Great stuff. Objectively though, the best item in the game is the potato, and in my headcanon, this item is my son, and I must buy my son in order to save him. But the only problem is that my fucking son only appears on wave 20 when I don't have enough money. Fuck you, son. Fun fact, there are 32 enemies, including 3 elites, 2 bosses, and a tree. How many playable characters, you ask? 38. Here are some of the noteworthy ones. The Crazy, buy ninja stars and crit and live out that Naruto dream. The Streamer is a perfect parallel to real-life streamers. You know, the less you move, the more money you generate. The Loud and the Wildling. Remember that Einstein quote? Well, the Wildling took it very seriously. Unlike traditional roguelikes, progression is incredibly simple. It doesn't require you to sacrifice your entire social life, which of course for me was never really a problem. In total, Brotato has 71 unlocks, as opposed to The Binding of Isaac's 637 with DLCs. And even that can be made much easier because you can change the difficulty settings in the options, basically making this game incredibly beginner friendly. You have 2 layers of difficulty: the enemy stats, which can be changed via the options, or danger level, which changes the game, like adding new enemies, harder waves, and elites. Danger level 0 is pretty easy once you get the hang of this game, but danger level 5 is insanely difficult on some characters, like the Streamer, Jack, and the Pacifist, who are widely considered by the community as the complication. On Danger 5, there are 2 bosses, the only 2 bosses, the Invoker and the Predator, or as I named them, the Suck, and Jump Rope, because it kinda looks like a 2D jump rope to me, and anyways, if you also suffer from cognitive issues, please hit that sub button. Now it's time for Pro Tips with Mainly Grand. Tip number 1. For the easiest Danger 5 win, take the Masochist with shields. Prioritize armor and defensive stats and pray you get the Bloody Hand or Blood Donation. Tip number 2. If you're playing the Sick, do not take the Weird Ghost. Trust me on that one. Tip number 3. Don't take Peacock or Bait if you can't handle it. Tip number 4. You're going to get hit. Pick up some HP. And tip number 5. Don't hyper roll and lose all your money. Brotato is currently sitting at an impressive 96% positive reviews. It has 48 weapons, 158 items, and 38 characters. It's still in early access, so there's more updates to come. I really wanted to clear Danger 5 on all characters, but since I wanted this video to be released within a relative time frame, this is what I got so far. Brotato is a fantastic game. It's great at what it does, and for that, I give Brotato a 100% Steam Achievement Ribbon. Yes, that's probably the only one I'll ever get. Before Brotato, I didn't even know that existed. Out of 10.